Hey guys, Dylan here with Waller K9. Today I have Daisy. She is on her place board at the moment. Daisy, oh. She just stepped off, so I'm gonna put a little pressure on the collar and get her back up. Stay. So, same thing here. Stay when I come back. She's not eating food right now. I do have food for her, but she's not eating food right now, so when I come back, I'll tell her good girl and I'll give her a little pet. Stay. Stay. Her release is okay. Good girl. Come on, Daisy. Daisy, come. Good. Good girl. So same thing here for Daisy as Indy. If Daisy doesn't respond to come or to heel, she'll hear a tone. Okay. This is up. When she wants to work for food, I'll say, Daisy, sit. I don't have any food because she's not eating food, and I'll kind of show you that. Even if I have food, well, at this point maybe she wants it, but she wasn't taking it a second ago. So I'm gonna do the same thing I was doing earlier for stay. 1, 2, 3 steps, back. Stay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll come back. I'll say good, she's doing great. Stay, turn my back to her, good. Stay, stay, okay, come, okay, come on Daisy, Daisy come, good girl, come on. Come on. Good girl, Daisy. Daisy, come. Good. Daisy, come. Good girl. Good. Good girl. So her release again is okay. Okay. She took some food from me there. Usually when I call her to come, she takes her sweet time, but as long as she stays headed in my direction, she doesn't get distracted or she doesn't turn her back on me, then I don't really get onto her. I don't put any pressure through her collar, okay? So now one thing I will do just to get some repetition through, if I tell her to come or heel, I'm gonna put a little tone to this right after I say come or heel if she's not responding immediately, or if she gets distracted and starts to walk the other way. Good. On this board, for her, she is very timid, so she kind of wants to stay. You know, as Indy wants to leave the board, she is quite the opposite. The board is a safe place for her, and she's decided that it's an awesome place, so I don't really put any pressure on her for walking off the board if I tell her to stay. But once I tell her to stay, she usually doesn't really do that. So she walked off on me. I'm gonna say, Daisy, come. Little tone on the collar. Daisy, come. Little tone on the collar. Good girl, Daisy. Daisy, come. Good girl. Good girl. The fact that she came back to the board and not back to me is quite all right by my standards as far as right now, knowing Daisy and knowing how timid she is. Okay. So here's one thing. When I get Daisy to sit, I'm gonna tell her to sit, and I'm gonna walk over her back. And you see, she didn't allow me to do that. So I'm not gonna tell her to sit because it's gonna get into, I hate to say, quote unquote, a pissing match, and I don't want that. I'll tell her to stay. I'm gonna walk over her back. I'm gonna pet her. Stay, walk over her back, and I'm gonna pet her. Stay, walk over her back, and I'm gonna pet her. This is gonna get her uncomfortable with not being able to see me and surrendering her back to me. She doesn't want to surrender her back to me because it's a very vulnerable position in the animal world. She wants her eyes on anything that might put too much pressure on her that she doesn't like. She's gonna want to see it. So if I take this off, my hand off of her collar, and I go around her, you see how she wants to see me. If I try to step over her, you see she's gonna want to walk away from me. So, Daisy, come. Good. Daisy, come. Good. So I hold her collar to get her comfortable with that particular situation. Now the reason I do that is because if I ask her to stay and I turn my back on her, or if I ask her to stay and I walk around her, I don't want her to spin, because her spinning might get her up from a sit, or it might take her off the board completely. Up, up, good, and stay. Good. So the fact that she's laying down, she's tired, but she's really comfortable, I can say stay. Stay. You see how it got her up, because it made her uncomfortable. So we're gonna go right into heel, which is Daisy heel. Daisy. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna grab her collar, just the end of it. I'm gonna put a little tone on her and say heel. She didn't feel any stimulation. Now that she's with me, I'm gonna let go of her collar. Good girl. Heel. I tap the leg just like I was doing with Indy. Daisy heel. Daisy heel. Good. Come on. Come on. Daisy heel. Daisy heel. Daisy heel. Daisy heel. Daisy heel. Daisy heel. Good. Good. Daisy heel. Good. Good girl. Stop. Good. Daisy heel. Stop. Stop. Good. Heel. Stop. Stop. Good. Heel. Up. 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 Daisy up. Daisy up. Good. Good girl. And stay. So I zigzag through the trees so you can see. I tap my leg. I tell her, good girl, Daisy come, Daisy heel. Daisy heel. Come. Good. I'll only use come a little bit if I find that she doesn't understand or needs a little bit more encouragement, but it's usually just Daisy heel, Daisy heel. And I'll tap my leg and I'll encourage her. She did hear the tone a few times. Daisy, up. Good girl. She did hear the tone a few times on the collar. You know, if I say heel, she usually hears the tone right afterwards, but with Daisy, I just tap it. I don't get into any pressure. And most of the time with Indy, I do the same if he's pretty close to me or next to me. Now, if she gets off this board because this car's coming, I'm definitely gonna light her for it. It's on a 20. She did not, so that's great. I know she has the thing about barking on the fence for cars. So, come. Good. So we're gonna see if we can just do a little obedience, which is to sit. I'm gonna see if I can draw her to the floor. Down, down, good girl. And then I'll feed her. So this will be a down stay, stay. This is another truck coming. If she gets off, I'm gonna light her up for it, i.e. put some stimulation on her collar. We're at a level 20, same as Indy. So you shouldn't have to worry about changing the stimulation, but if you find that Daisy needs a little more stim or a little less stim, then, manage the dial accordingly. Stay. Now with Indy, I can pop him up into a sit and lay him back down and then call him to come and then pop him right back into a sit. Daisy, we're on a way much slower progression, so I need her to be hungry and or I just know that she takes 2 or 3 times as long to do anything. So there's a third car that's coming by, another distraction. Again, this is the first time this has ever happened here on the property with me, so I don't really know what to expect, but I know we're in the backyard around the fence. If a car comes by, she sprints to the fence, sprints down the fence and starts barking. There's the 4th car. So we're just on a roll here. Daisy's release. Okay. Okay, Daisy, you can do whatever you want. What's also probably helping me is she's a bit tired, which, you know, it's hot out, it's summertime, so we can definitely understand that. But Daisy, come. Daisy, come. Come. Good girl. Good girl. Come on, Daisy. Daisy, come. Good girl. Good girl. So we kind of showed the same thing we did for Indy, but with a little less expectation, a little more patience. So we had Daisy come, Daisy sit, Daisy lay down, Daisy stay, Daisy heel, and then usually I don't really play too much leave it games with Daisy because I have a hard enough time for her to take food out of my hand, and I don't want to make her feel as though she can't. But I do play the game of leave it with water. So if you have a hose and you just leave that hose running, and you can like leave the hose running on the fence so that she's just preoccupied, you tell her to leave it. I put a little pressure on the collar, no tone, just a straight pressure on the collar, and every time she steps towards that, I'll put a little pressure, and she knows the word leave it at this point. I mean, we played quite a bit just due to the fact that I had to fill up water buckets, and she kept trying to bite and fight the hose to the point of knocking over the water buckets or putting muddy paws into the water buckets. So I think she's doing great. Hopefully with this, it'll allow you guys to trust them a little bit more out and about, off leash, outside of the fence. But if you guys got any questions, I'd love to help. Thank you guys for trusting me with your pups, and I'll see you guys soon.